I've got to mention it no matter what. Over in my book, yeah, it's still in there. I was going with Monique, you know, and going with Monique is something.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. So while doing basic training, you know, in the morning, you're there. All right, you guys, drop your cocks and grab your socks. We're going on a hiking, and you know, and everybody lined up, you know, 5 o'clock, and you're hiking and you're hiking and you're hiking, and then 11 o'clock. All right, break out the sea rations. Lunchtime. Where? On Sunday afternoon, you're allowed a visitor. So last Sunday, Monique came. So while they were cut up, open their lousy cans of sea rations, I had a half a kosher salami, I have some half a chicken, I had hard-boiled eggs, you know, I was provided for like nobody's business. And of course, I'm the giving type, so I shared with everybody, including the sergeant who was leaning up against the truck. And I want a piece of kosher salami, sir, thank you. All right, you guys, drop your cocks and grab your socks. We're going on another hike today. Everybody lines up. Oh, another hike. Okay. And truck pulls up. Frankston, yeah, supply duty. Hop on. The guy with the kosher salami. So then you're going to bivouac. You know, it's midwinter. Very cold. Little pup tent. Goldsmith was the young guy who was sharing with me. He was the only one who was doing well. It was freezing. But Sunday afternoon, I had a visitor. Monique brought me a quilted sleeping bag, some foot warmer, a hand warmer, some cans of sterno heat. You know, boy, I'll tell you, we were, what are they, snug as a bug in a rug or something. Yeah. But I'm a nice guy. So I sterno can here, sterno can here, sterno can here, Sergeant. Next morning, freezing. All right, you guys, we're going to rifle range. I couldn't even see through my glass. It was that thick. And as we line up, Frankston, your KP, kitchen. And next thing you know, I'm in the kitchen. He gives me a pound of potatoes. He peeled the potatoes, and I sit by a warm, cozy fire for the next hour. You ask me why I married her? Come on. She must be kidding. Yeah, you know, this girl's a jewel. A jewel. I haven't stopped paying since. All right, so... So then the orders came out. And then we got married. After basic training, we got married. And we took a week, and we went to Florida on honeymoon, and came back, and then everybody was waiting for the orders, and suddenly, they're out of there, and we run to the board, and there was a huge board with all these thousands and thousands of names, you know, on it, and sure enough, for April shipment to Seattle, Washington, for Korea. J. Frankston. Oh boy. Everybody, Monique was crying, everybody was crying, my mother was crying. Something just didn't feel right. And a week before leaving for Seattle, you went through different desks, and it was a corporal, and corporal there, he asked me, and we talk a little bit, and he says, okay, fill this out, okay, go to the next desk. And there's another corporal, you've got an accent. Yeah, what, I'm French. Oh, moi aussi, alors, the next thing you know, we're talking in French. No, wait, Paris, oh yeah, I went for Paris too, and what? And then he said, what are you doing going to Korea? I said, I had no choice. You have no choice. I do. Struck me off one list, I'm on the other list. The next thing you know, new orders appear. So much of blah, 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 pertaining to Private Frankston J. That is deleted and put on order number so-and-so for shipment to Europe, to Germany. Hey. Right, Monique would make arrangements. Monique worked for the United Nations. So Monique made arrangements to get a leave of absence, and she was going to follow money by 2-3 weeks, and set herself up in Normandy, where she had these people who saved her during the war. And when most of it, likely I would be in Germany, but Germany's not that far. If I get a weekend leave, we can meet in Paris. Fine. I take the train from Bremerhaven to Zweibrücken in Germany, and I arrive there, and this is a CNA assignment, classification assignment. So I tell them, oh, excuse me, I forgot to say, when I finished basic, they offered me a commission. After all, I was a lawyer, you know, and I wasn't 18, I was 23, almost 23, so, you know. So, no, I didn't want a commission because it meant 3 years instead of 2. That was enough. So, okay, so where am I? I'm in Zweibrücken, yes. I tell them, look, can you get me something in France? Any place in France. I mean, I speak French, I speak languages, I'm a lawyer, nothing open, nothing. So, they gave me the choice between Munich and Frankfurt. Well, Frankfurt's closer to the French border, so okay, Frankfurt. The orders came out. I mean, everything was in print already. You know. And I'm sitting in a mess hall with this corporal, very important corporal, and Schneider was his name. And he's with CNA, classification assignment. And so I asked him, is there anything you can do to get me to France? He said, there's nothing open. I'll tell you what, man, can you type? I said, nah. He said, take the army test. I said, I've taken it, I flunked. Now, take the army test tomorrow morning. 8 o'clock in the morning, I line up. There's 8 other guys waiting for him, and okay, there's another corporal there. Corporal's on the army. And so he says, your name, Pincus over there. What's your name? Goldsmith over there. What's your name? Frankston? Oh, Frankston over here. And he puts me in this little room with a typewriter, sheet of paper like this. He says, all right, you got 20 minutes. Start now. And he walks out. Well, you know, huh? No? Well, an hour, almost an hour goes by. By then, I'm almost finished with the thing. He comes in. Stop! Your 20 minutes are up. Pulls the sheet out. Nice time. 45 words per minute. You're going to Orléans in France. Transportation. Wow. Well, Orléans is not Paris, but Orléans is an hour and a half, 2 hours from Paris. Hey, that's wonderful. Yeah. Hey. So the next thing you know, I'm on a train with about 15 guys that we, you know, you winnow them down. Most of them are in Germany, you know, France is so. And so we wind up in Orléans. Orléans is a major headquarters. Every second man is an officer, and every second officer a colonel. And I'm in this large office with desks, typists all over. They're all French typists, of which I am in charge. But I make a serious mistake of treating them like I would if they were Americans, like on a friendly basis. And they immediately thought that they could take me, you know. I was like a buddy, you know, and they could take advantage of me, you know what I'm saying? They're used to, the boss is the boss, yeah. Not the boss can be friendly. So I had to lay down the law. The problem in Orléans was this. When the American army, the French people would rent an apartment for $45 a trimester, a house rather. And that's how they went, approximately going rates, never mind anything else. Well, when the sergeant, American sergeant came in and his wife came, he offered $45 a month instead of a trimester. The lieutenant offered $100, and the next thing you know, the housing was going for incredible amounts of money, and they were not available. And Americans, because they flashed their dollar bills so much, the French just took advantage. You don't know the value of money? Well, we'll show you. So in walks Captain Nash. Jim Nash was his name. Nice guy. Frankston, yeah. You speak French? Yeah. Listen, I got to go to town. I want to buy some clothes and whatever else, and I'd rather not be taken. Will you come with me? Sure, I can arrange it. Sure, come on. We go downtown. He goes into this store and he picks out some shirts and some slacks and I don't know what else. And just as an example, I asked the guy, we're in uniform once there. I asked him, how much? And he says, it's the equivalent like 70 francs. I look at him in perfect French. I say, what did you say? He said, I said 17 francs. Yes, 17 francs is more like it. So my guy was very happy, and we walk outside, and he finds out that Monique's coming on in Le Havre next Saturday on the ship. And don't you want to go meet her? Oh, sure. I'll arrange it. Next thing you know, I got 5 days off. Now it's 6 o'clock in the morning or 5:30. The fog. Oh, Le Havre, the port. Oh, the ship is pulling in. On the dock, standing by himself in black and white, in his trench coat and his cap, is me! Monique! And she thinks I'm in Germany. She doesn't know. She thinks I would be stationed in Germany, and here I am waiting for her at the port. So we wind up going to Paris and renting. Since I was off, since I had my wife with me, I'm allowed to have an apartment and live with her as long as I get to work. So we rent in Pigalle. We rent an apartment on the 6th floor. Walk up with a toilet and a staircase, and it's like a honeymoon. It's absolutely wonderful. Please understand that when I left Paris, I was 11 years old. So, not even, yeah. And then I spent the last 2 years in Marseille. So Paris didn't mean much to me except for my neighborhood. But oh, in those 2 years, I fell in love with Paris, and I still am to this day. I say I'm no longer French, but I'll always be Parisian. Well, and we discovered Paris, and I commuted every day, almost 2 hours going and 2 hours back. And at lunchtime, everybody ate, the soldiers ate at the mess hall. Come on. I'm allowed to do that, so I go up post, and there's the local bistro, and there's a long table with all the locals here drinking and singing and whatnot, and I'm friends with her, and they like me because, although I'm American, I speak good French. I speak better than they do, speak Parisian French. See, but of course I don't tell them that I was hasty, I just let them assume that I like the language and so forth. And I'm sitting next to this guy, and it's one of the things that was, there were some real estate brokers who refused to rent to Americans because, you know, and the guy next to me was a real estate broker, and we got it on. And when I asked him, he said, well, look, when our kids get married, they have no place to live. And when they do find a place, it's way out of their reach. They can't afford it. Oh, I said, yeah, that made sense. He said, why? Do you need a house? Well, no, I live in Paris. I commute. I said, oh. Because if you want a house, how did you have a house?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I'll take. Can I rent a house wherever I want? Sure. It's a great house. 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, indoor plumbing. General Sibley, new chief of staff, arrived 2 weeks ago to Orléans to take over headquarters. His wife and 4 kids are following. I knew damn well he ain't gonna get anything. So I called Captain Nash, Jim, do me a favor, if you see the general, tell him I might have something. Next thing you know, outside, Colonel Green, yeah. I'm General Sibley, new chief of staff. Oh, yes, sir. You have a Frankston here? Frankston? It's the guy with the glasses out there. Oh, yeah, okay. Frankston? Yes, sir. I think you might have something for me. Oh, yes, sir. Here I am in a limo, driven by a sergeant. Long limo. 2 motorcycles in front with flags. The flowers are at it. So, and we get to the real estate broker, and he looks at the house, and he says, can I have it? Yes. Yeah, how much? $45. A day? No. A trimester. A trimester. He didn't believe it. I took him to the real estate broker. He signed the contract, paid for a full year, of course, a full year. And here I am back in the back of the limo with the general sitting next to me. And so, Frankston, what can I do for you? No, General's very nice of you. What do you do? Well, I work in transportation. You live on post? No, I live in Paris. You mean you commute 2 hours to go and back? I'll have to do something about that. The next thing you know, they built an office in the Gare de l'Est, the railroad station, which they put me in charge. I was in charge of all military freight south of Paris and all intramural personnel, military personnel in Paris. I did not have to wear a uniform after that. That was part of them. The office was incredible. I still have a sign that was on my desk. It didn't say Private J. Frankston. It just said J. Frankston. I still have it here. And in back of me was this closet. And on the door of the closet it said Lieutenant Colonel Green. Of course he was in charge. Can't have private E2, not even private first class, in charge of a major operation such as this. I had 3 sergeants in front, an English bookkeeper were taking stand. I mean, you have no idea. I was a big shot. But the thing is, I wasn't 18. Look, I was almost 23, spoke several languages, knew law, and hey, they loved it. Of course, I could come and go as I please. And I did. I went to lunch. I went home for lunch, came back, you know. And then one day I'm sitting sort of bored in the office, in my office, and I open the door and I find the contract between the French railroads and the American Army. Contract? Why? I just got out of law school. Contract. Yeah, let me look at this contract. Let me look at this contract. Wait a minute. the French railroad, the SNCF, was really taking advantage of the U.S. Army, and it was the things around there. So I asked my bookkeeper to call the head of the French, the Paris office of the French railroads, and tell him that I want to talk to him. And I went on, and I said, my name is Frankston, I'm a lawyer with the American Army, and I would like to discuss the contract with you. Which was all true, but I wasn't a lawyer with the Army. I was a lawyer, and I was in the Army, you know. So we had lunch together. He was very nice. I used to drink wine in those days. That he liked that, you know, that I would keep up with him. And during that lunchtime, I renegotiated the contract with the French railroads and saved the Army money beyond the count. And then about a week later, I hear a lot of commotion outside. In walks the guy. Frankston, yes, I'm Colonel Green. Colonel Green? Oh, yes, notice I said Colonel, not Lieutenant Colonel. I've been trying to make full Colonel for 1.5 years now. Your contract, which I got credit for, gave me the full blood. Ah, yes, 2 years. Then there was this major, you know, there were scandals in the Army. This major married kids, but they were still in the States, they hadn't come yet. Had an affair with a French damsel and knocked her up, and she was threatening a paternity suit. So the thing is, hey, what am I going to do? I can't go to judge advocates, it'd be a scandal. So I don't speak French, I can't speak to a French lawyer. Go see Frankston, speaks French, English, lawyer, 6th floor, walk up. Sure enough, and there he is, and he's telling me his tale of woe, and I tell him I don't know what I can do, but I'll try. And he gives me the name. Her name is Françoise, and she's a waitress, and I go see her, and she's wonderful, and she's lovely, and I can't blame her. And the thing is, abortions are illegal in France at the time. England was okay. We arranged for her to be able to go to England to have an abortion and get a few $100 on the side. She was very happy. He was very happy. What can I do for you, Private? Sorry, Major, I know generals and colonels, and you're just not, you can't help me with anything. Oh, yeah? 2 days later, I get a courier bringing me what's called a hop card. A card which I can present to any airport where an American plane flies out, the military, and they have to take me and my wife along, no matter where it goes. Signed, Major whatever it is, head of MATS, Military Air Transport System. So Meninga and I flew to Switzerland skiing and went to Geneva and there. But the Army was just wonderful. I'll conclude by, oh no, I can't conclude yet. I got one more tale of woe to say here. And that is, here I'm sitting in the office and I get a call from Orléans, which is 2 hours south, which is the first place I was in. And they tell me this is the Judge Advocate's office in Orléans. We have arrested somebody here who's in jail and he's going to be tried on a summary court-martial for two hit-and-run driving, stealing a government vehicle, AWOL for six weeks or something like that. And the thing is, they appointed the defense counsel, and he bodily kicked the defense counsel out, and he says, I want Frankston in Paris. Huh? Well, you got to understand, you know, he's entitled. Legally, he's entitled. If I'm willing, he's entitled. Out of the question. Well, they sent a car for me and drove me down to Orléans, and I met him, and I told him, look, I've never tried a case in my life. I mean, it's ridiculous. He says, the guy who's appointed, the lieutenant, he has tried many, he's not a lawyer, but he's tried many cases, whereas I haven't tried any. No, I want you. But, yeah, look, it'll be my first occasion, and it'll be a nice occasion to start, but I think you deserve better. I want you. Well, I don't know if it's because it was my first case or because he was a corporal. That was it. He was a corporal. All along the way, there were corporals who stepped, given proper spot. I didn't hear, there, one step here, one step there, until I wind up here, and I said, yep, I'll take your case.